Well, we have a solution for that.
Hello, we are Small Dreamers.
We've been toying with the idea of making games together for a long time, and the time seems right.
The goal of Small Dreamers is to make bite-sized games, short experiments, each made within a 10 to 12 week time frame.
We plan on documenting our progress with weekly live streams, short, quick video updates, and regular devlogs. And all our games will be available for free on itch.io.
We have a ton of ideas we want to try out, and the list keeps growing.
We want to remain independent and use as many open source tools as possible.
We'll try to stay on schedule while taking care of our health. The goal is to avoid the crunch that's so prevalent in the games industry.
We wouldn't be able to do this without your direct support. So, if this sounds interesting to you, consider joining the Patreon.
Are you tired of huge games with too many things in it? Tired of hearing about games that only come out once you've entirely forgotten about them?
Too long development cycles?
Too big teams? Too big games?
Well, we have a solution for that.
Hello, we are Small Dreamers.
We've been toying with the idea of making games together for a long time, and the time seems right.
The goal of Small Dreamers is to make bite-sized games, short experiments, each made within a 10 to 12 week time frame.
We plan on documenting our progress with weekly live streams, short, quick video updates, and regular devlogs. And all our games will be available for free on itch.io.
We have a ton of ideas we want to try out, and the list keeps growing.
We want to remain independent and use as many open source tools as possible.
We'll try to stay on schedule while taking care of our health. The goal is to avoid the crunch that's so prevalent in the games industry.
We wouldn't be able to do this without your direct support. So, if this sounds interesting to you, consider joining the Patreon.
Are you tired of huge games with too many?
Hello everyone, hello raiders, 50 people, wow, that's a lot.
Bonjour, c'est Jou, fais les 16 Hi, hello.
Should we introduce ourselves or something?
Maybe. maybe. I don't know.
We're
how to start
professionals,
streams.
we know it.
Starting streams is always.
Okay, starting now. We are Small Dreamers. We make games. Well, we're working on the first one.
Yeah, basically the plan is we make small, bite-sized games. We make tiny games in a tiny time frame. Small schedules, small games, a lot of fun.
Hopefully.
Well, well, we're gonna talk about this very soon.
Hello, Ilianas and Wen.
Hello. But thanks for the red.
Yeah, thanks a lot for raiding.
It's been a fun week in a way.
It's been a week.
It's been a week. So this is the weekly stream where every Wednesday we recap what happened the past 7 days, development-wise, on the game we're working on, which is the first game, which is a kayak game.
Yeah.
A canoe game, actually.
A canoe game.
A canoe game.
It's not a kayak.
It's not a kayak. It's a canoe. It's been a full week, full of things happening. If you were there last week, we haven't solved the whole problem. The hole is still there. It's looking at me.
Still a hole in the map.
I pretend it doesn't exist. For
For
those
now.
who weren't there last week, we have a hole in the map. A whole thing that doesn't have any reason to exist.
Should we show them the hole real quick?
Show the hole. Show it.
Look at that hole.
That.
I don't know why it is there.
This happens on our terrain, on the ground.
Oh, they can
On
see the name
which-
of the file.
we're supposed to
Fucking true.
fucking true. Very well. Yeah, denial.
Always.
Not just a river. But yeah, it's I pretend it's not there. I
No,
pretend
not
it doesn't
yet.
exist. I don't look at it. And as long as I don't look at it, I don't have to deal with it.
It's a problem for future us.
Exactly. Future us is probably in 2 weeks from now, but never mind
Yeah.
that.
We said we would have finished the map and most of the assets by the end of the month. That's what our plan says.
True. So we do have only 2 weeks. God damn it.
There's no hole in the game. It's a secret portal to a secret level.
Yeah, it's a very long portal that goes all across the
Yeah.
map, though. So that's fun.
We'll see. We'll figure it out.
No, we'll figure it out. But that was the beginning of the week, to be honest.
That was Wednesday. Last Wednesday.
That was last Wednesday and a bit of Thursday,
Mm.
where we were like, what do we do? What can we do? Again, it's an Easter egg. Sure.
Yes. We'll hide it, and at some points you can see it, and we'll put a sprite of our cats or something behind it if we can't fix it.
Yeah, I guess. I guess we can do that. That's fine.
It
I'm
doesn't
not
really
mad.
fit with the vibe, but whatever.
I mean, yeah,
It will be fine.
it will probably.
We'll fix it.
We'll fix it. We'll basically redo the terrain in another tool, another way. So that's probably gonna take me a good 2 days, I think, in the upcoming weeks to redo that. And maybe do it better now that I know what I want. So
Yeah.
that's the opportunity to make it better, I guess. I'm trying to look at it on the bright side, you know.
course.
But yeah, that was the beginning of the week. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you went back to coding.
Yes, I went back to coding. I added an interact prompt that shows up whenever there's stuff where you can interact with things that are there.
Little prompts.
All the prompts. Well, there's only one yet, but
Can
let me
see.
show the little video. Here it is.
Eee.
Interact. Whenever
Oh.
you're in the area where there's something you can interact with, you can interact with it.
Prompts. Little hints that you can do something.
Yes, hey, you can do something.
Wait. What?
Well, this was before that all that worked, but
Yeah, okay.
so that was that. Just
Fun
an
things.
interact screen. Oh no, spoilers.
Spoilers. No.
Spoilers! Our hype, our entire stream is
No.
messed up.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Pretend you didn't see anything.
No, you didn't see anything.
Those are
And
not the
then,
droids you're looking for.
after the interact prompt, I worked on menus. I made them very ugly first.
Yeah, I know.
Because, well, I need to learn how it works.
Sure.
No, it works. So I redid them, but prettier. Look at these.
Lots of coding. It does look better now that you've added color.
They're not great, but they are working.
Yeah, at least they work. They work very well.
And most of the stuff has already changed a bit, but it works. Sort of.
It's there.
It's there, it works. And stuff is happening.
Menus.
Yay.
No, it seems simple in appearance. You're like, that's a menu. Why are you excited about a menu? You don't understand. You don't get it.
I can
Making
show
the
them the
menu
code for the
function.
entire damn menus. Like over here. Where is the menu? Main menu is a small code, but then there's the options menu. It's like 100 lines of codes, and then every page has like 15,000 lines of code.
Yeah, but it's not the number of lines. It's
No,
the complexity
it's
of the
the
thing. That's all.
it took a lot of thinking. The coding itself is pretty simple. It's just show this, hide that, show this, hide that, but
But
it
you
ends up
have
being-
to have these options and make them from scratch. So that's cool. That's fun usually. But yeah, many simple things were made this week.
Yes.
On my end, I made rocks as announced. As announced last week, I made rocks. I made so many rocks. Yeah,
This one?
This one works
This one.
for sure.
Yep.
Rocks.
Look at the rocks.
Rocks.
Rocks are pretty. I like the rocks.
I made so many rocks. No, I made like 10 rocks, and then I got bored. But it was fun because, yeah, I mean, last week we discussed the fact that I still hadn't jumped into the 3D modeling process. I was still being like, I don't know, I'm scared, I'm still watching lessons and stuff. So now that's done. And with that, I worked a lot on how I wanted things to look like.
Yeah.
So that was the main thing with starting the 3D modeling process and the asset making, is that I had a lot of tests and things to try first to be like, do I want things to look that way or that way? Like, for example, they look very toonish, and it's a shader I made into Blender to be like, okay, that would be the perfect scenario. That's like concept art, but already on the model, but for looks and stuff. And I made a lot of decisions like that, like how complex I wanted the. Yeah, you can show the other one if you want.
Let's show the next one.
Yeah.
Hey.
Like big rocks, small rocks, how much level of details I wanted for small things, big things.
I really like what you did. They are very pretty. I like the colors and the
Yeah,
shadows and everything.
that's the thing. It's I'm talking about it like it's a concept art because I cannot reproduce that in Godot exactly.
Ah.
So I can do something similar, but I haven't yet found a way to reproduce that.
Yeah, the shader stuff is different, and the shaders that we found are different as well. But
Yeah.
there's stuff that is vaguely similar at least, so it will not completely look like that, but pretty close, I guess.
Yeah.
It's always when we try to make more aesthetics and everything stop working correctly. Yeah, that's with the menus, that was it. It worked, and I was like, yeah, but I would like to show the menu and show the world, and so I had to basically redo the entire thing.
Yeah.
And now it's mostly working, so it's fine.
True, you were like, I want to show the world, the in-game world.
Yeah, when you start up the game, I want to show the world. I don't want a blank screen or something else.
And yeah, you spent a good while on that.
It was 2 days.
Yeah.
Well, after work every day, but
Yeah, too. Yeah.
I spent like 3 hours after work every day on this because, well, I still need to eat.
Yep, same. I didn't have as much time as I wished.
Oh no, we need to. Someone wants to offer promotion.
Yay!
I think we can throw this
Sure.
person away. I don't know how it works.
Yep. You go.
I don't know how it works.
Okay, hang on.
Here you go. I don't know how that works.
Give me.
You're the streamer here. I'm not. We'll figure it out. Ignore this person. What should I do? Okay, yeah, rocks. Rocks are pretty. And the menus and stuff. Yeah, basically I had to redo the entire menus. And well, since I did them the day before, I just could remake them, so it was pretty easy. Oh,
There you go.
sorry, I was fascinated by what you were doing. I couldn't talk at the same time.
Anyway, aesthetics.
Yes.
So yeah, shaders. I ran into. Well, I'll talk about the shaders a little bit, but basically, rocks. I made rocks. I'm very proud of the rocks. They're very pretty.
I like them
I
a
keep
lot.
looking at them. I'm keeping like they're cool rocks. They're just rocks, but I'm gonna be happy to have them in the game. So there
Have
is
you
that.
tried just opening the Blender files in Godot directly?
Yeah, but it's the same problem.
Yeah, it doesn't
it's
work.
because okay. So to achieve that look, I have not only just a shader in Blender, but I use that is basically a color ramp. So a color ramp is like, you know, when you have a gradient of colors, and instead of telling the engine to be like, I tell you the color and material of that object, and then you create a nice smooth shadow. Instead, you use that color gradient, and this tint here is your shadow, and this tint here is the color when it's in the light of the object. And then instead of making a smooth gradient, I make it a constant color ramp, which is like you have 4 colors basically on
That's
each,
what you can see here. It's dark.
They can see it.
They cannot see it because I hate it.
Yep.
It's here like very dark,
Very
slightly lighter, and
Yeah.
full light.
And then I could adjust how much I wanted each color to be present, and how dark or light I wanted things to do. And then to achieve this very contrasted thing, I added 3 different lights to the scene, and angled them differently. So basically, there's 2 sun plus a directional light, and there is one sun that is like the force of 5 suns,
Yeah, well,
and is shining right on top of them.
it will need some adjusting later, but we'll figure it out.
So yeah, but that was in Blender. That was just to really get a look. And so that worked well. And then I got bored of rocks. I got bored of rocks. And so I went, how about I make the canoe? How about I make the canoe? Tell me. Come on. So I made the canoe. We have a canoe.
We have a very pretty canoe.
Yeah, it was
Canoe.
fun. More complex shape. I realized yesterday that I still have a mistake in it that I need to correct on the rim.
Yeah, there's a little bit of the rim that's not the same
Yeah,
color as the
that's
rest.
on me. I was sleep deprived.
Doesn't matter.
I didn't select all the
I
correct
actually quite
faces.
like that it's not perfect, but
Yeah, but I can make it not perfect on purpose
yeah,
and
that's
not
better.
have. We'll show that. We'll show the mistake if you want. Okay, can go next. one.
Hello, Adeline, and hello, Chef
Chef
Flam.
Yep.
Don't
Okay.
worry about it. Next, what's next? Here's the
Here.
canoe.
And so here's the same thing. I made the canoe. I made little backpack and stuff behind because it was a too simple shape and I felt bored. And I felt like it needed something.
We talked about the backpack.
We talked about the backpack. That was in one of the inspirations
Yeah.
we had. And after making the canoe, I was like, yeah, no, it needs something more, which also allowed me to slightly angle it in the engine afterwards because I'm like, there's weight there.
Yeah.
So it has
Yeah,
to be
I noticed that it's slightly angled.
slightly angled, which also allows me to hide the fact that the water goes into it. But that's a different conversation for another time.
I fixed the collision shape later.
Thank you.
This morning, I think, or this
But yeah.
afternoon somewhere.
And so yeah, that's basically concept art at this point.
But it is in the game.
It is in the game, but to achieve that look, once again, I select exactly which are the 4 or 3 or 4 colors I want on each material. And the darkest colors are not black because normally the normal way engines and 3D tools and stuff make shading is often with adding more black or brown, which muds the color a bit. And if you want a very strong contrast, you have to not do that. You have to go on the color wheel and basically take kind of the opposite on the color wheel from the color you want to make the shading way more intense. Because our eyes don't actually see complete black or complete white. So doing that allows you to do very high contrast and interesting contrast. And then you adjust it to your kind of taste. Because I don't like to take exactly the complementary color. I just go like, no, I want it more blue. No, I want it more purple. You know, because like I hate the fact that I was supposed to make greenish shades, greenish shadows. They didn't look good.
No.
So I would go more towards blue, or I would go more towards purple. Also, like this doesn't look the same as on my screen because you have to think of the fact that nobody has the same color settings on their screens. So you have to really go with your guts and harmonize the different colors. So that was fun, but that's completely concept art because I cannot reproduce that in Godot yet. I haven't found a way to do that perfectly. I've tried, and the shader we use should be able to do that, but I don't know why it won't. So
I'll look into it at some point.
yeah, but yeah, even
It's
then,
not extremely high on the priorities list.
yeah, because I managed to find a good look anyway.
Yeah, because I like how it looks now.
Yeah, but that took me a day.
I know.
So we can show how it looks now.
Yeah, this is the
that
third
was the
image.
basically that's the concept art of if everything was perfect, the game would look kind of like this with an outline. But
Yeah.
it's not. So instead, I went with another look. And if you didn't know this was my goal, the look we have is great. Clearly.
Should we show them the boat how it is
Yeah.
now? Let's show them. Oh, I'm just gonna launch the game.
Yeah.
Look at our
So-
pretty game.
Pretty game, pretty canoe.
Yep.
Press play. Button, please. So it still looks okay. It still looks good. Doesn't look bad. You can see on the rim on the right there is a orange rectangles. Yeah, it does look good.
I like how it looks. Let me just jump in. Because we cannot walk on the water anymore.
All right, yeah.
Let's
okay.
just go on the opposite side.
So it still
Needs
looks
some tuning.
okay. I'm gonna probably add some details on the.
Like
On the
here,
front
here
of
you can
it.
see it pretty well.
I still managed to have very, very contrasted shadows and interesting stuff. And as it moves, rectangles and stuff keep being shadowed and not. So that adds a little interesting things to it every time it moves.
Mm.
But I'm still not satisfied because, as I said, these are automatic blackish shadows,
Yeah.
and I cannot tell the engine which shadow color I want for each material. So that would be the best thing. But if I don't have it, this still looks okay. I can be satisfied with that. But as I told you right before, I added a second sun to the game to achieve
Yeah,
that.
I saw it.
We now have 2 suns in this game.
Well, we're on the, what was it? Tatooine? In
Yeah,
Star
I
Wars?
guess.
I don't know.
I guess.
I don't remember. Let me quit the game real quick.
Can you show the 3D?
3D.
No,
Yeah.
no. Go back.
No.
Go back to the engine
And go back to the engine.
and show the 3D scene. Not this one. Not
This one.
hang on.
Go ahead. Yes. I'm having a... I can't see the screen anymore because there's a cat in the front of me. Say hello to Mook. Want to say something to the people? No, he doesn't
Nah.
want to.
He's not a very talkative cat.
No.
That's Mook again.
Yes. Oh yeah, there's shadows too now.
Yeah, there is a bit of yeah. So basically, I have 2 suns in this game. It's fun. It's all very cool.
Yeah, if you can see them over here. There's
Yeah.
a rim light and I don't know what changes. Ooh.
A lot, because I reduced the other one as a result. So this
Yeah,
one is basically for the ambient lighting, and the other is for contrast. So I have the normal directional light just lights things normally, like a sun would, like you're adding a sun would, and then the second one is like 3 times its strength and way more direct.
Yeah.
And they have a similar angle, but not totally. Like if you wanted to show that you can, you can show them as suns.
Mm.
So basically on the skybox, and basically you would have 2 suns. But I deactivated that because
yeah,
it was
they're-
bothering me. So,
Of course.
but yeah, that's so. But yeah, I spent a lot of time trying things on the shaders and try to reproduce what I wanted, and I found another way that works. I guess it's gonna change, I think, a lot because as I add more models, like trees and stuff, I'm gonna have more results that don't satisfy me.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna have to find other ways. So the more things I will add into the game as 3D models, the more I'm gonna change the lighting,
Of course.
the shaders, the stuff. But that's normal. That's a work in progress. So that's it. So the looks of the game are gonna change a lot in the next 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
We're getting there. We have a vague idea of what we want at least.
yeah,
And
vague,
vague.
vague one, and then we have to bridge the gap between the vague idea we have and what we actually can do
Yeah.
within the time frame we have. So that's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be interesting at least.
Up, does the boat got a name?
Oh, not yet. We'll figure something out.
Keanu Reeves.
Canoe Reeves.
Keanu Reeves, also known as Shadow Hedgehog. Now, have you watched? Have you seen that news?
Yeah, I saw that.
He's gonna voice Shadow.
It's not the worst
in
idea.
Sonic. No, it's a great idea. I think that's
who
very
was
funny.
Knuckles again? Idris Elba.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
that's
that's fine.
that's such memes and meme choices. I can only respect that. That's my language. I love that. To be honest. So yeah, it was mostly issues achieving the looks and stuff.
Mm.
I really wish I could just have a nice working color ramp and that's it. But at the same time, once I go into different shapes, I'm gonna be like, oh, that's not enough.
Yeah.
Oh, I want something else. So
I'm gonna look into it, how this
Yeah.
color ramping and stuff. Maybe I can figure something out.
yeah, it's weird because it should work according to the documentations of the shader we use,
Yeah, it was somewhere.
which is a toon shader that was slightly modified.
Mm.
And it should work, but it just didn't. Like, it kind of worked, but it refused to actually do the shadows where they should
Yeah,
be.
I get it.
And then it just, I don't know. I tried different things and it didn't work. And I tried different types of color ramps and stuff like that. They're still in there, so if we want to retest them, we can. They're still on the
Yeah, yeah.
shader of each individual material.
I'll try that. I'll try some
so
stuff
you
out.
can
We'll
play
see.
with that. Also, I'm still gonna, I think, touch up the outline. I think I thought it was fine, but then it turns out we're never near enough, so it's always a bit too big.
Yeah,
It's too thick still.
it's at 5 now, I think.
A little less. I
Yeah.
already diminished it.
Yeah.
And then I went on specific objects where I really diminished it because too much detail, so it was very, very weird.
Of course.
You had just patches of black. But yeah, I need to keep doing it because also the shader with the outline has a weird behavior. Like you can slightly see here with the sleeping rolls, the sleeping mats,
Yeah.
basically. It just, if something else has a bigger outline behind,
Whoops.
it will kind of take that
Yeah.
and use that.
Yeah.
While when you get near it, they take back their normal.
Yeah, I noticed that
Lining?
with the shader here too. If you look at the box, there's a black line now.
Right, yeah, exactly. Right where the canoe is.
Which is fine if there's a
think
black line
it's-
on everything.
I think it's fun. Like for the sleeping mats, it works very well.
Yeah.
Because that creates the impression that the line kind of disappears, but
Mm.
it just actually gets very thin,
Yeah.
so you cannot see it from a distance. But once you get back and stuff, so it still does a weird thing. So that's gonna be interesting with when
It's
we have
also that
a whole forest
the
of things.
depth blur thing
Yeah.
that's doing a lot of work here.
So we have different
There's like
things
3 different
mashing
shaders,
together,
so
chaos is happening a bit. So yeah, I need to look into that because that's gonna be fun when we have a whole forest in front of us. Like if everything takes on the outline of the tree that's nearest to you, that's gonna be weird. But also
Yeah.
at the same time, that could add interesting depth.
if it looks cool, then it's fine.
Yeah, that's it.
And if it doesn't, we'll tweak it until it does,
Yeah, we can. Find
or
it out
until
there.
the game releases.
Or until the game releases, at which point we're like, that's good enough, I guess.
Sometimes good enough is just good. It's fine.
Yeah, no, that's true, but I want it to look good.
Of course, I want it's
Not just good enough.
it's all about vibes. So of course we want it to look
I-
good.
But what I like is that what we have right now, if we applied it to everything, it already gives a very distinct look.
Yes.
So that's a good thing. And it's not a bad look so far.
No, I
So,
I actually
kinda
like
like
the
it.
look.
I need to test it on the rocks now.
Yes.
That's gonna be a big test for the outline.
Mm.
Because if it does weird things to my rocks, I'm gonna be pissed.
We could also not have outline on the rocks, and
We
that's
could.
part of the vibe.
We
of the
could. I
look.
mean, grass
We'll
and
see.
rocks might not need it.
Hmm?
We'll see.
That's the
It's gonna
advantage
be-
with the outline on every single material, that you can just
Yeah.
customize it. It takes a little longer, but it's
Yeah, but you're already integrating things anyway,
Mm.
so it's part of it. And it's fun.
Canoe Reeves and The Rock in the same game. Yep.
Yep, that's it.
should we give? We need someone in the trees as well.
We need a name for the trees, but we have different types of trees.
Well, we'll
so
see. Next week we'll have
I need
trees,
at least
maybe.
4 names.
Okay.
One for pine trees, leaf trees, dead trees, and logs. Just
Okay.
Logs and stumps.
Start thinking of names. We'll see.
Get me names for the trees. I'm gonna work on David too.
Yes.
Today. Sure, yeah. Give me
I'm
names.
not gonna be giving them names like that in the editor because it's gonna be too confusing.
Sure. Okay, I can agree with
I
that.
like 3-1 and 3-2 because I can understand what's going on.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure. Bob Moss. Oh, that could be for the bushes
Yeah.
and stuff. Oh no, the trees, that works fine for the trees. Probably the pine trees.
We'll see.
I don't know, they're not mossy usually.
Bob Moss is a great name.
Bob Moss is a good name. I'm gonna do.
Hello, Vero Payou.
Hey. Hi, Mom. Hi.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Behave yourselves, everyone.
Yeah, everyone behave yourself. That's my mom. But yeah, it's been a week of graphic things. So yeah, we have a canoe. We have a pretty canoe.
We have a pretty canoe. We have a game. No, we don't have a game yet. We have mechanics and stuff that's starting to turn slowly into a game, which is sort of what we expected. So that's good.
Yep, that's kind of that was the plan for the week actually.
Yeah, I did some other stuff like fixing the way it works, how you get off the boat, and I spawned a bunch of cubes over here that will disappear. But basically, when you get out of a boat, out of the canoe, it spawns you to the closest box, and we'll just have a bunch of boxes everywhere where you can get off, and it will spawn you on the closest edge, on the closest square.
So you can get out of the canoe
Yeah,
sometimes to walk.
instead of teleporting like 500 meters.
Yeah,
That was what it was last week,
yeah,
and that was
was-
confusing.
that was very.
And I knew it was confusing. Well, it was bound to be fixed, but it's fixed now, so it works.
It works quite well. Either that or I've gotten used to it. That's also
And
a
the
thing.
other solution is always we can just add more spawning spots, and it will get less and less confusing.
Yeah, but then at the end I cannot add continuously new boxes. Like we shouldn't do that.
No,
So we
It
should
will work.
try to make it slightly less confusing instead, instead of
course.
adding twice as many boxes.
no, no one
But-
can see those boxes. They're just
But
for
true.
us.
True. You cannot see the boxes. You just have to know they're there.
Yeah, I don't remember where they are. Whatever. On the beach.
Yeah, no, it
They're
was
here
fun.
on the beach. I can just turn them off. This up, gone. And now you don't know they're there, but you can spawn there.
Yep.
And that's it.
That's it. We have so many things to polish and stuff, like the fact that even if I'm quite a distance away from the box, it still tells me I can get down.
Yeah, the area is very big because I was testing stuff, but
Yeah.
we can just adjust every single area later.
Yeah, but that surprised me because I was in the boat like on the other side almost
Yeah,
of
yeah,
the
yeah.
lake, and I was like,
Yeah, if you look at this, like, if you let's show them the easiest. Instead of talking about it, I can just show it.
true.
Get in the boat, and I'm barely further away, and up. I can now get out.
Yeah, and you're like meters away
Mm.
from the riverbank.
Oh yeah, I
So-
fixed also the depth. You can now walk into the water a little
Oh,
bit
right, that's true. You can walk a little bit into the water.
because it didn't work before because you could walk on the water. Now you cannot.
You cannot walk on water. You cannot go everywhere on the water. That's fine.
No.
You have to take the canoe now. You have to remember where you put it.
Oh yeah.
If you go walk and lose yourself in the woods, you have to find the canoe again. That's your problem, not mine.
Exactly. We are not going to make the canoe spawn anywhere.
Yep.
It will be
that's
where
on
you left it.
That's on you. That's the hike simulator. You left your things and your fresh water into that canoe. Remember where it is. Like you do bring stuff on with you when you go on a long hike, and especially you bring water with you because you never know what water is drinkable or not, and it keeps you from having to boil it
Mm.
and filter it.
That's not a
So-
part of the game though.
No, you don't. You don't have item management.
No.
You don't have to survive. But if you do lose the canoe, that's on you.
Yes.
If you want to get lost, you can. But if you don't want to, we'll try to help you, with little path and stuff, tips, maybe.
We'll see.
But we will not teleport the canoe to you.
No.
Be aware of that. That's not the plan. You can absolutely lose the canoe.
Quite like this area though. It's still very barren, but I liked how the way you modeled it. It's pretty.
Yeah.
Don't look at the hole.
Well, it's not gonna be.
No, it's not gonna be the same, but that's fine.
I'll find another way to make it look good.
Of course. Always.
Yeah. But yeah, also I found ways. I'm probably gonna have to do it in Blender.
Yeah, there's other terrain tools in Godot. You could also try it on those, but if you think it will work in Blender, fine. just go with Blender because
I-
you know how to use it now.
Yeah, there's that, and also like at this point, trying different tools and having to relearn tools is gonna lose more time
Mm.
than finding a way to make it look good
Yeah.
in Blender and then import it in a way that's not too heavy, and then create LODs. And
Yeah, that
functions
will
like
be
that.
something.
Yeah, that will be something, sure, but
That's a good skill to have as well.
yeah, that's an important one. We're gonna reuse that for
Because I
sure.
know that I've been working like 3 days on menus and stuff, but I know that all those skills that I'm going to reuse them later.
Yeah, you can
That's for sure. I can
literally
basically copy
copy paste.
copy paste the menus to the next game and just modify them a little bit, and that's it.
Yeah, so that's why we can take some time on some things on this game. And that's also why we started with a game that's not too mechanics heavy, like that
Yeah.
doesn't have too many complex interactions and stuff. It's because we
Yeah.
have to do those things. We have to learn those things.
Yeah, start
And-
simple because well, we're not good yet. Well,
There's
we're-
that, but also once these things have been done once, it's easy to redo them
Yeah,
or
it's-
to take them and alter them for the next game and stuff. So
yeah,
those are-
next game I'll have more time to spend on something else instead of working for 3 days on menus.
yeah, they're basically building blocks
Yeah.
for for
It's,
every game we
it's
make.
the same for the controllers. The first person character controller I made like a couple weeks before we started making these things because well I followed some tutorials, I modified things and it worked. And for the I added controller support to the entire game now, and you can switch from one to the other whenever you want, which is something I really like because I used to play No Man's Sky a lot. And in that game, I did that all the time, switching from mouse and keyboard, and playing and walking around with mouse and keyboard. And then whenever I got in my ship, I pressed the button to get in the ship and picked up the controller and flew away. And I really like that. And I've noticed that I play like that this game as well. I walk around with keyboard and mouse, and whenever I get in the boat, up controller.
Fun.
Yeah.
I rarely have my controller logged, plugged in,
Mm.
unless I need to use it. So I do not do that. I certainly do not do that. That's because I'm lacking in USB ports.
Yeah,
I have too many things plugged in every time, and so yeah, I don't.
I have like 7 controllers plugged in right now.
I know I can see most of them. I think.
We have an Xbox, PlayStation, a Dreamcast.
It's just why.
Because it's fun.
Yeah,
I
it
like
is.
playing old games, and I like playing them on the original controllers.
Yeah, fair.
It's more interesting to play a Dreamcast game on an original Dreamcast controller than an Xbox 360 controller. It's not the same feeling.
I don't think I've ever played a Dreamcast game, so I'll believe you on that.
We should play some Dreamcast games at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll do that at
We'll
some
do
point.
that. Sure. We can find one that's a good inspiration for the next game or something.
Yeah, we'll see.
Give us
There
an
was
excuse.
there was one on the list for on one of the other games we talked about had some inspiration from
I think I remember the plain one.
Yeah.
Maybe.
no, the plain one is PlayStation 2.
Ah.
It was the one with sheep.
True. Yeah. Okay. I get it.
But shh, it's game for the future.
No
Maybe.
spoil.
No spoilers.
Subscribe to the Patreon to have access to those discussions.
Yeah. Subscribe to our Patreon and follow us on Twitch and stuff.
Sure. Yeah.
For those of you who haven't yet, please do. We're almost at 50 people on the Twitch, so that will unlock stuff. I don't know.
I'm not even sure. I don't remember.
We'll see. It will unlock stuff, so subscribe.
Yeah, and also the goals keep changing, so I'm never
Yeah, I
up to
don't know.
date with that.
We'll see.
Like I got it once and then I just went like whatever.
Yeah, I got it too, and then it went away, and I had like 5 subscribers. I don't know how it works, but it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, affiliations, it's
Oh,
50
50.
now, but we also need to stream like 8 hours, and we're at 3.
And 7 days a month with weekly streams, that's not gonna work. So yeah,
Yeah, we'll be streaming maybe some. I know that I'm going to be streaming the music and stuff for at some
True.
point.
Yeah.
I know that when I'm going to be recording and composing the music, I want to stream that because it's interesting maybe to someone.
Probably.
And if not, at least it will make me do it instead of getting distracted all the time.
Sure. I mean, for me, it's like by the fifth tree, I'm gonna be like, yeah, sure. I
Yeah,
can
yeah.
talk to people now.
Of course.
I could use a break
If you
talking
need
to
8,
people.
if you have to make like 15 trees, it's normal that after 5 or 6 you need to get distracted a little bit.
Yeah, or just have
Yeah, show it.
a bit of a different process for a while. Like it's fun. Socializing while you work is fun
Yeah, exactly.
because we just send each other messages.
Yeah,
We have a few times where we're like, "Hey, do you want to come over to work on that?" But the rest of the time it's just like, "Hey, I've done that. Look,
today I made this. Look.
hey."
Or
look."
sometimes not even message, just a screenshot.
And the other goes, "Yeah,
Yeah, great. You did so great. It's perfect.
cool. Okay,
wait to
I
try
think
it."
this is broken though."
Yeah.
It's every
Look,
time.
there's a hole in the map. Oh no.
No. I think the settings broke the controls.
Yeah, the entire controls are were
Oh, yeah.
broken this morning,
Yeah.
and nothing worked. And I fixed it after work later this afternoon.
Yeah, and I was like, I think
I
think it's
nothing
broken.
works anymore.
I think the canoe doesn't work anymore. We broke the canoe. Again.
Oh, we're
Yeah.
gonna get paying subscriptions. Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't know
basically
how that works anyway.
subscribers but
Oh, that's all the
what-
Amazon Prime people. That's
Ye-
perfect. I'm
yeah,
gonna be
sure.
using my own Amazon Prime for that to
That's-
give myself money.
you reimburse yourself the half of the $5 for
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Prime, basically. But yeah, it's also no. What I'm interested in is the emotes.
Yeah, that's
We
gonna be
need
fun.
to brainstorm that. Okay, what style of emotes do we want?
I know what we want. We want the
Yeah, I mean, we
kayak.
want the kayak, but what style?
I don't know. You're the visual person here. I'm not.
Do you want me to stick with the pixel art of the logo? Do you want me to go with cats mostly?
I don't know. What would we want? What do they want?
Nah. What do we want? We're the ones going to be using them the most. I'm going to be honest.
We'll see.
We'll see. But yeah, no. Of course, if you do want an emote, I'm joking. But
If you have ideas for emotes and stuff, just subscribe to our Patreon and ask us on Discord.
fair. Okay, fair. We're paywalling that. No.
Or you can send us a tweet or something. I don't know.
Sure, send us a message if you have emotes desires. But yeah, that's gonna be fun. I want that. I want emotes.
Yeah.
More emotes.
More emotes and more people watching us.
I mean, yeah, sure.
Because, well,
That too. I
the
mean,
plan is to make more games, so
the more
we'll see.
people, the more games.
Yeah.
That's proportional.
we're not going to be making one game per person, though.
Depends.
How long do you want to work on this? We'll see.
Exactly. I mean,
We have a long list of ideas, so
We
it's
have
technically possible
very
right
long.
now. Right now, there's like 40-ish subscribers on here, so it's probably possible to have. And we have at least 40 game ideas, easily.
Easily, and that's just the one we already selected as yes, we could do that.
If you hear the cat, that's Blue, that's the cat on the logo.
As usual.
As usual, he likes to scream.
Also, that means I realized that I will never hear the notifications
No,
because they're the same meows. They're his meows
yeah.
that we recorded. So now, if we do get a notification, I'm not gonna see it.
No, we
so,
have to keep an eye on it.
So yeah, I'm gonna add something to the chat system so that
Yeah, maybe
we
a
can-
or a
No.
message that shows in the chat
no,
or something.
Yeah, a message in this chat.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna
That way
do
we'll
that.
see
That's
it.
good. Otherwise, I'm never gonna see it.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah. So yeah, if we do miss a follow, that's why.
Mm.
It's because I'm too used to the cat screaming in the other room, and since we use the same meow for notifications, it's not very clear for me. Which one is which?
It'll be fine.
Yeah, or I could just change the sound of the alerts. You know, I could do that.
Oops. No, don't change the sound. I like his meow.
I like like his meow too. That's not the question. That's not the issue here.
It is. It is the sound for us. It's Small Dreamers sound.
Yeah, that's true.
It's part of it.
And that's very representative so of the atmosphere in which we work. It's
Yeah.
with cats going meow meow constantly.
There's 4 cats walking around here, so yeah.
Yeah, we do have that. What's the plan for next week now?
Yeah, what is your plan for next week?
Trees
Trees
and the paddle.
and the paddle. Yeah, the paddle will
paddle
be
would be
nice. I've
nice.
started working a little bit on animations just before you arrived today. And I'm probably gonna be making some animations this week.
Yeah.
Because the mechanics and the tech side is mostly done-ish. Needs tuning and needs figuring out, but it's mostly done.
I can start criticizing animations soon.
Sure,
Yeah.
I'm terrible at animations. I've never made animations before,
Everybody's got to learn somewhere.
but it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be very
I
fun.
made a little animation. I don't think we saw it. Maybe I deactivated it by accident. Yeah, I forgot to turn it back on. It's here somewhere. Up. I need to change that too. Of course, but it's here somewhere. Animation. Turn it back on.
Very simple, but it does give life to the scene when you
Mm.
when you test the game.
It should
Which I
work. No, it's not on the right one. Here we go. Idle. This one is working now. Work? Yeah, we have a slide animation.
Very subtle.
And if you press play, it should
There it
show
is.
a very subtle animation.
I think that's very simple, but that works very well.
Yeah. And it took like 10 minutes. Which I like.
That's
Stuff that looks good,
very
that doesn't take long, it's perfect.
Yeah, that's a very simple idle animation. That's very cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can animate a stick until I get the paddle.
yeah, that was the plan basically. For this week I'm gonna try animating the stick.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do the head bobbing when you walk around. And maybe a little canoe motion that's different from this one. From when you start going, that's synced to the speed. Maybe some little waves on the side. I don't know yet how that will work. I like the waves that are in Wind Waker. They're basically like orbs that grow the faster you go. They're pretty simple, and I like how they look.
Oh, yeah.
So it's
that
just
would be fun.
2 flat images that you put on the side that grow bigger the faster you go.
Yeah, that's probably particles.
I don't know how it works. We'll see.
Okay.
I think it's just small shapes that grow the faster you go, and with an animation on it,
Okay. Yeah.
which is probably usable and doable
Sounds like it.
Hmm?
In principle.
in principle.
On
I'm going to
principle.
look at it. Look into it because it's going to be part of the animation stuff. So
That sounds cool. I want that.
yeah, I want that too.
You told me Wind Waker. I was like, yeah.
I
let's do that.
I like how Wind Waker looks. So of course.
True. No, it looks very, very, very good. But that every time, as I said earlier, like every time I add something that looks nice to the game, I'm like, I want to touch up the water again. I want to change the water again. Come on.
Yeah, we need to. We'll toy around with the water more
I think
because
we
it's too light blue. It's weird.
that's not the light blue part. It's too realistic
Yeah.
still, and yeah, it lacks something to give it the
It lacks white spots.
exactly, and probably bigger outline when it encounters something, but also something that doesn't go crazy when I get away from it. So yeah, there is
Yeah, right now it goes crazy when you move
when
away.
you zoom out. Yeah.
When you zoom out, the entire thing goes crazy.
So that makes me kind of worried for when you're up high.
Yeah, if
and
you're
look
far
at the
away,
water, it kind of worries me.
it looks weird.
So yeah, we need to touch that up, and anyway, we need to not have so many tiles of water.
Yeah, right
So-
now there's like 50, 60 or something. But we'll figure something
We'll
out.
figure something out to make it less heavy,
Mm.
performance-wise, and also look slightly more like the rest. But I think we shouldn't do that right away, which is why I'm keeping myself from doing it, from touching that.
Yeah, wait
Um,
until we have trees and things and
Yeah, and
a
at
game
least-
that starts to look more like what we want to, and then we can modify the water.
I think my
make it
my
look like
first
we want.
the first thing I want is once I have enough elements, I'm gonna do like testing areas
Mm.
where I'm gonna be like, so this is a pine tree area, this is a normal leaf trees area, and this is near water.
Mhm.
Where I can basically put a bit of everything, see how it looks together, make little scenes like one or two scenes like that, probably not many, where I'm like, okay, I have basically every element I make that has a place in these little scenes, and we can test everything visually
Yeah.
in there and modify things and go further away, closer, further, go between things and stuff
Mm.
to see how it looks.
Yeah, see how it looks, see what's missing, maybe.
Yeah, and I need to remember that I want to do that and not rechange everything every
No.
time I
No.
add one new thing.
No.
Because so far that's how I've been working, but because we had nothing, that's normal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I need to.
You need to
I need
make
to,
the thing
you
and
know,
move on.
take myself by the collar and no. basically.
This week you need to make trees.
Yeah.
So you cannot spend a week on one tree.
That's definitely
problem.
not the plan.
Nah, I know, I
not,
know.
Nor a problem. The issue would be making things smartly,
Mm.
which would be like making one of each type first before diving into, oh, I want to make diversity.
Yeah, of course.
Because that way, and forcing myself to go into integration
Mm.
right away to see how they look and how they look, each type of tree looks. But because otherwise, I'm just gonna be like, okay, now I do all the pine trees. See you in 2 days. Now I
Nope.
do all the leaf trees. See
That
you in 2 days.
seems like a bad idea.
That doesn't sound like a good
No,
idea.
make one of
Doesn't
each.
sound-
If by next week you have one of each tree, we'll be fine. At least the 1st
We'll
version.
definitely have one of each. That's not the issue.
At least the first version.
The
that will
issue
be touched
is
up
me
and stuff.
being like by Sunday, hey, I have all types of trees and multiple variations.
And I have
and
not
now-
slept.
No, and now I'm putting them into Godot and they look like shit.
Oh yeah, of course.
And I cannot make them look good because I used a style or
Mm.
a way of making them that doesn't look good. So either I change the look of everything or I redo the trees. So that's what I want to avoid. And the more elements I'm gonna have, the more I'm gonna need to do that, or to be wary of that, because that's the type of way I could see myself losing a lot of time, basically.
Sorry, I just picked up the laser because I needed to turn off the cat.
Yep, it's the shush blue machine.
Because when he sees the red dot, he goes crazy and he basically starts hunting it, which makes him not scream anymore, which is
I
good.
really need to make a second camera for you.
Mm.
Like
Do you have a second camera somewhere?
No, but I can show you. I can make you a whole setup so that you can use it,
Oh yeah,
and that way I can just light it up when we.
when there's a cat doing something.
Yeah, because
Because he's funny
very
when
cute. There is a cat currently going crazy after a laser, so that I wish I could show you that.
sadly you can't.
Sadly
You cannot.
can't.
Not
So,
yet.
I think of something for future streams. Maybe not next week because trees.
We need to work on the game more importantly than the rest, I
yeah,
think.
but cat camera.
Cat camera is good. If you need a break from your tree making,
Yeah,
you can always figure something out with the cat
Sure.
camera.
sure, can do that. I could do that. So yeah, the cat is mesmerized and now very confused because there is no red dot anymore.
No.
The red dot is gone. Oh my god.
I usually just make it disappear slowly by making it move away and then go out of the window and now it's gone. A cat camera, exactly.
Cat mirror, exactly. Yep, that would be fun. But yeah, I could set up something very easily.
No, not cat camera. We'll not put him in our game either.
No. But yeah, I need to note down the names we have for things now
Yes.
because Bob Moss is a really, really good name. So Ah,
Bob Moss. What
Keanu
was it?
Reeves,
Keanu Reeves
The Rock.
and The Rock. Here we go.
Parenthesis S, because there are multiple of them.
Yes.
So
Yep. Here we go.
here we go. Okay, that's noted. Thank
Bob
you.
Moss.
Bob Moss. Yep. That's
you-
Bob 1,
yeah.
that's Bob 2, that's Bob 3, that's Bob Pine
Mm.
instead. Fine. Yep. Fine with that. I can do that. Also, that's gonna be a fun. If I do stream that, that could be a fun stream title.
Of course.
Bob Mossing around. Yeah. No, that's a fun idea. But also, yeah, it's just gonna be trees, animations.
Trees, animations, and
um,
stuff. I'm going to figure out that controls issues because
yeah.
it's still not working. I added customizable controls and it's not working. So I need to figure out why.
Yeah, please. It was working very fine, and now it's still working.
Well, if it doesn't work, I will just pull it out, and you cannot rebind the controls, and that's that.
Yeah, because one of the things is, I don't know if we showed exactly, but in the settings we have a lot of complex settings that are way too complex for a game of that size and ambition, but are very useful if we do something that has more mechanics or is more active.
Yeah.
Because you do have the usual volume controls, but now you have a whole rebind.
Yeah, you can
menu?
basically rebind every single control here, and it works sort of, but not completely.
Yeah.
He doesn't like the shift and things, and the controller doesn't really work, and it's weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have music, we have the volumes and stuff. I have plans for the sound, so I basically prepared all that, but I still have not put a single sound in the game. But
You have put music.
yeah, I've put some music here,
We're locked in.
So
but you'll hear that later.
exactly. And it saves up and stuff, but these are very detailed controls for a game of that ambition. So
Yeah.
we can always just give some up if it doesn't work, but I do like the accessibility ones
Yeah,
a lot.
I
These
care
are
about
important.
accessibility for games, so of course I wanted at least some,
Yeah,
because I
Of-
like to play with the center dot active.
I do not.
Like this.
So,
Have a nice little white dot in the
little white
center.
dot. Oh, you made it smaller.
I made it way smaller.
Oh, that's so much better.
It was very big first,
Oh, that's so much better.
and it's now
I
it's
cou- I
not a
could work
sprite
with that.
anymore. It's a dot that's drawn by the engine.
Okay, cool. But yeah, so especially because we are very aware that it's walking first person, but also the rowing thing on the water and stuff, it can easily make people sick. So yeah, the main accessibility things we've planned are so we can hopefully diminish that
Yes.
and make it a bit more comfortable.
Yeah, if
For
there's
people who are
accessibility,
sensitive.
I'm not very sensitive to that, but if you have ideas for other stuff that would be
Usually
easily added.
one of the most, I don't know if it's easy though. One of the most common one, and usually the basis is the colorblind modes.
Oh yeah, colorblind. Well, do we need colorblind modes? Because there's not
We-
gonna be much stuff that's dependent on color, I guess. Maybe.
kind of, especially for the prompts and stuff
Yeah.
that are gonna
we'll see.
appear. It-
I'll add it.
For now, the way we have planned things, we have a lot of contrast anyway.
Yeah.
And so that would work, I guess, but it's not necessarily going to be comfortable or very clear. So I'm kind of wary of that. But since it's not a game that has timed input, reflects things, it's not fast, you go your own rhythm and stuff. I am quite comfortable in saying that it's not necessarily a blocker
No.
for people who are colorblind, but I would still probably look into it because
Yeah,
once I
I'm
have
gonna look.
more-
We'll see, and maybe we can design around colorblind friendliness as well
Yeah.
when we choose the colors for the fonts and stuff. Because all these
Yeah.
these menus are not permanent and not finished. They look very orange right now.
Yeah,
And
they're very
I
orange.
didn't change the font. I didn't change anything. I just
True.
made a very basic
Yeah, no.
outline and
So all of that is gonna be worked on, and we can keep that in mind. But maybe we might need one. I don't know. I don't know.
we'll see. I don't know.
We'll
I
see.
don't know any colorblind people that I know of.
I
so
know at least two. One of them is very likely colorblind,
Hmm.
like in a very on just one color and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Like, likely.
So
You want to
we'll
be insulted. And another that is a bit more.
we
more
could
colors,
ask them at least.
but yeah. But otherwise, there are tons already.
Yeah, of course.
So we can just look at it.
I'll look into it.
Usually as a graphic designer, but I got taught like years and years ago, so quite a while ago, almost 2 decades, and 15 years ago. Let's be real. And one of the things was that for it wasn't games, so it was usually flat and interface and stuff like that, UI and stuff. They used to say that even if you do not have a color mode, a colorblind mode, if you put your image into a black and white filter and the contrast is high enough to understand what's going on,
It will be
that
fine.
it should be at least understandable. It's not going to be necessarily pretty or comfortable, but it should be at least understandable. So that would be the goal. Whatever we do, is that we have that. Now, we already have an outline, we have high contrasts, so I'm kind of comfortable with
Yeah, I think it will be
saying
fine,
it
we'll
should
see.
be readable, but I'm not 100% on it because, as we say earlier, we have many shaders impacting each other, the distance one, the outline, weird behaviors, plus the shading and stuff. So I don't know how the final product is gonna be like regarding that. And I guess it also will depend on where in the game, where on the map and stuff.
Yeah, of course.
Like if it's just walking under trees, it might not be very clear anyway, and we might not have any solution for that, even
No,
with a
we'll see.
colorblind system. So I don't know. So yeah, but that would be interesting. Other accessibility tools. Here's the thing. Also, it's accessibility is very important, and I really want us to do what we can with that. But once again, we have to scope it
Of course.
to be realistic and with what we can do. We're not a big company. We're doing this in 10 to 12 weeks. So
10 to 12 weeks. So the game is coming out in early June.
So yeah, so it's gonna be a bit of a speed run for anything we want to add accessibility wise.
Yeah.
So yeah, we probably should just note down everything we need to be careful of. Then see. But I think it's important.
Yeah.
And I agreed. Like the options you selected are very good for motion sickness.
Yeah, those are the
So-
one I immediately thought about because well, I sometimes get motion sick, and I've played a ton of VR a couple months ago, and I got motion sick quite a bit.
I bet. Yeah, VR is really difficult with that. It's really not the best way to enjoy games if you're motion sick. But yeah, and as I am not very motion sick, so I do not get a lot of motion sickness. So I'm very blind to that usually. So I try to pay attention to that, but I'm not very good at it. So that's a good thought. We'll see.
At least it was pretty simple to implement, so that
Nice.
was also why I chose those three because they're basically on-off things. Like the head bob is just well, if you don't want to turn the animation off, done.
Yeah.
That's
true.
fine.
But yeah, also like any accessibility, like I'm gonna be honest, remapping the control is an accessibility.
Yes, that's also
tool,
why I did
usually.
it.
And it's just, even if you don't want to think of it as an accessibility tool, it's just a comfort of life for people. That, yeah, in this game, it's not that important,
But there will be other games.
but there will be other games, and the more we build now, the more we can polish it as we go in
Yeah.
future games where it's more important to have them.
And it's
So-
less to think about for next time.
Yeah, so I'm comfortable with the way we've done this so far, which is we try to do them we give ourselves a deadline,
Yeah,
and if it doesn't work, we stop, we take it off, or we put this in a file for later, or stuff like that. And that way, when it is really important that we have that, we can in a future game.
exactly. Yeah, that's basically what I said. I'm gonna toy with it till the end of the week, basically. If it works at the end of the week, it stays in. If it doesn't, it goes away, and we'll replace it with something else.
Yeah.
And show, I don't know, a screen with the controls and how you have to play or something, and that will be it.
Yeah, I think that works well.
Mm.
I think that's a good way to go at it.
Yeah,
like-
just a screen or a sprite on the side of the menu or whatever.
Yeah.
Something pretty.
something pretty. Yay!
Because it's the canoe controls are weird compared to a standard game, so it's
Actually,
important to explain them.
Actually, I yesterday, until very late, I'm gonna be honest, I played Sea of Thieves again, which I hadn't played in
the
a
boat stuff is
very
the
long while.
rowboat is
The
really
rowboating.
annoying.
It's a pain. My God,
That
I
was
had forgotten.
I started to play.
But I
Sea
know
of
that I
Thieves.
remembered it
Mm.
when I conceived the controls for that.
Yeah, I started to play Sea of Thieves a couple months ago, and that's what gave me the idea for this game.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't
because
know
I
that.
said, oh man, I want a game with water and where you can go around in a boat, and
Aw.
it turned into this little thing what we're making now.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's why. I love this game.
Yeah, Sea of Thieves is
It's
fun.
such
We
a
should
good
play
game.
together sometime.
Yeah, to do that. But yeah, it's yeah, I had forgotten how the rowboats in Sea of Thieves were, and at the same time, I remember like having a vague idea of what I wanted, and that was something similar but comfortable.
Yeah.
Because they make you for anyone who hasn't played Sea of Thieves, you have normal pirate boats with sails and stuff, but you also have access. Sometimes you find a little rowboat, so little boat with rowing mechanic, and you go into this. They seat you in a seat, and you row backwards. So you have to turn the camera to see where you're going, and then invert in your mind the controls, because then every time you row in one direction, it goes towards the opposite. It's completely. It's a pain, is what it is. I'm trying
It's
to
a
remain
pain, and
polite.
I think it's made so that you have to play with multiple people.
Yeah, it is so.
But also, yeah, you basically end up rowing in small circles for several minutes and then
Yeah.
just jumping into the water because it's too annoying.
Kind of.
That's
or,
what I
or
did,
you,
at
Or
least.
you end up turning around your own boat so that you can
Yeah.
anchor the thing. It's a pain. It's like the inverted filing control in a lot of game. Yeah, not everyone is comfortable with inverted controls, and here it's like one action button for left for one
Yeah.
paddle, and for the other, another control for the other. So you have to remember that this will not only make you go forward, but also in a direction, but that
That's-
is inverted.
That's something I need to add to the list. Invert the look for the controller, because I have it how I like it. But that might not be the right way.
Yeah.
If we resume the game. Oops, I cannot resume the game and change the screen at the same time. Here.
Yep.
If I go back to the screen, I like it when you push the stick up, you look up. If you push the stick down,
Yeah,
you
same.
look down.
Same.
And some people do not like that. This is go up and this is go down.
Do we trust these people? Do we want to give them do we want to give them anything? Do we trust them?
I'm gonna
'Cause
add
I have
to the
opinions.
list. If I can figure out invert, right stick, up, down, look.
Yeah.
I'll add that to the list and I'll think about it.
But yeah, also like yesterday, because I spent recent days every time testing the game, adjusting things and stuff, and so I got comfortable with those controls. We added a break thing, basically, which is more like something that I took from my own experience with kayak,
Yeah.
which is when you put the paddle down in the water, it slows you down and it slightly turns you around the paddle, using it as a
Yeah,
as
that's
a
what
pivot.
that's what I thought it would.
And this doesn't exist in Sea of Thieves.
No.
and I missed it so bad. I'm like, no, okay, yeah, we're right to do this. It is such a good tool once you have it that no, I that comforted me in what we were doing. I was
Of
like,
course.
okay, the controls are not yet perfect, but yeah, they cannot be worse than that. They cannot be. They have to be better than that.
Our little canoe game will have fun canoe rowing.
Yeah, at least fun-ish or comfortable at least.
Yeah.
And we're gonna make the places where you can stop easy to access, or comfortable enough that it doesn't feel like a pain to
Yeah, that's the goal. It's supposed to
move
be
around.
vaguely, at least a little bit involved with the rowing. With the every paddle is on the is on a different trigger, so that way you have a little feeling that you're actually rowing somewhere. But it has not to be annoying, at least.
We don't want to really frustrate people with that. At the same time, I still want it to feel like you're paddling.
Exactly.
So it's gonna be a bit of a balance between making you do a thing that is not just pushing left to go left and right to go right, but is actually kind of rowing like. But at the same time, yeah, not making you like I'm not even gonna stop rowing, because if I if I try to stop somewhere, it's gonna be a pain, which is still is right now, kind of.
Sort of. I've gotten used to it, so I'm not the best person to ask.
I can tell you. I can still tell. But it's
Yeah,
because it's
the
still a bit
turning radius
very
is not perfect.
difficult,
It's stuff.
but the thing is, we didn't want to adjust it until we had the canoe. We had, because mass is a thing and speed and stuff, so we couldn't, or at least you told me not to.
Yeah, it
not
depends
to-
on the size and the shape. The collision shape works, and the boat is physics based in the game.
Wow.
So it's not just a controller that pushes the thing. It's when you push the paddle, it pushes the boat in a certain direction.
Yeah.
And it turns it a little bit. So we'll have to adjust that to make it feel good.
Yeah.
But it's still an actual physics object. And physics aren't yet the greatest in Godot. It's working. For this it's working fine.
Yeah.
But there's issues. I've looked at a couple of tutorials and stuff, and people keep getting annoyed at the physics. So I'm glad we're not doing a physics-based platformer or whatever.
Yeah, that's a good thing to know for later. Might
Which-
influence the choices of the following games, huh?
The tea is gonna be real strong right now.
So
Ah.
sounds almost like coffee. No, it tastes better. It tastes better than really dark coffee.
Mm.
But
Yeah, more options it's not a bad thing, but we only have so much time, so it's
There's that.
till the end of the week to work on the menus. And once the week is over, menus will be done-ish.
ish.
At least mechanically.
At least we'll know what we have that works and what we should give up for now.
Yeah.
Choices.
What? Are we on schedule? I think so.
I think so. It's difficult to evaluate because it's the first one.
Yeah.
So, for example, I technically have a lot of things to create in 3D in a very short span. But at the same time, the more I create things, the more I make some, the quicker I get. So, like, a lot of the things I have to create are variations of the same thing. So it's making the first one is a bit longer, but after that it just goes with like, okay, we do that in a different shape. So it's difficult. I think we're still on schedule.
I think so too.
I think
The little plan we made at the beginning seems doable still.
kind of, yeah.
Sort of.
I think so, at least.
It's gonna depend on.
We were pretty optimistic with that.
Yeah, of course.
schedule, but
That was sort of the goal. Also, it's the first game, so we need to figure out how it works.
yeah, a lot of things are just like, I don't think it's gonna take a lot of time, and this does. And other things are like, I thought this would take a lot of time, and it doesn't.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's that, and there is a lot of it took a lot of time at first, and now I can make so many more things easier
Yeah.
that it's fine.
You basically spend a whole week making nothing and just looking at Blender tutorials. So
Yeah.
that's also, it's wasting time at the beginning to make time later, which
Yeah.
is normal and which makes
As-
sense for our first game.
Yeah, and as I said, it's not like the options menu. It's like, oh, okay, we take a lot of time to do it now.
Yeah, I took
Next game, it's gonna take like 2 days to adjust it.
a week for menus seems like a lot of time. It is a lot of time, but still, it works now.
And
so
it's a time that we think is worth it.
Mhm. it's
Um,
important because it's important. Yeah, for accessibility is important. Having options is important because, well, it feels polished. Now, when I start up the game, having a menu, it feels like a game, even if there's nothing behind the menu.
Yeah.
Basically.
There's that. And also, there's a lot of. We'll see how well we evaluated that. Join us for the for the post-mortem stream, I guess.
Yeah. That's gonna be
uh,
something.
Yeah, I guess it's gonna be a lot of moments like that where we go, oh, in hindsight,
In hindsight, we should have prioritized this, made this better, made that, did that,
and
and we'll see.
that's cool to learn for
Yeah.
the next time. So
We'll have till June to figure out this game, and we'll make the next one better.
yeah, and
Even though this one is probably not going to be bad.
no, it's gonna be fine.
No. The mechanics work and are interesting.
Yeah.
So at least we have that. And if we need to scope it back a little, we'll do that. We'll
Sure.
see.
Sure, I could make a smaller map.
Yeah, this one is like 10 kilometers by 4 or something.
Yeah, I mean,
It's very big.
remember the first stream when we were like, oh, it's gonna be like 15, 20 minutes of walking,
Mm.
and then you just ended because you've done most of the things. Maybe just going around the whole river is like 20, 30 minutes.
Have you seen
already.
how big this is? No, I mean, just use the controller real quick. Have you seen how big this is? Just getting up this hill. And this is not the entire lake. The entire lake is behind here. And it takes like a minute to walk up this small hill. It's way too big.
Maybe I made the map a bit.
And we already scaled it down like a third.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe
Don't look at the hole.
we have ways to scope it down if we see that the game is
Yeah,
taking
look at this.
too
It's
long
it's
for
so
us.
big. So big. We're gonna be
fine.
seeing the
It's gonna
lake.
be
Here's the
fine.
lake. Look at it. There's an island in the lake over there somewhere, farther away.
Yeah. So yeah.
Also, yeah, it seems like I'm not moving forward, but I am moving forward. It's just that the ground, there's nothing on it.
yeah. It's just barren lands.
It's just a desert with an oasis. But look at that lake, it's huge. Should I make the player bigger? No, I don't want to resize everything. The player is 1 meters and 80 centimeters tall, just about my size, because I made it for me.
Boo. What about smaller people?
Do you want to make an adjustable
No.
player thing?
No, I do
Okay.
not.
Me neither. See, look at this lake. It's huge.
Yeah, it's
It's a little too big.
a little too big, and that's where you see that we repeated the same tile a bit too much.
Yeah, the water.
With
It's
the
not
water,
perfect here.
I think
And
it's
also,
really
it's not
too-
moving anymore. Oh,
No,
but
no,
I
it
need
is.
to.
You're just too far.
Yeah, I'm a little too far. But when you move closer, it gets more pretty.
Yeah.
Ish.
See, I want to touch up the water again.
course.
See, damn it. So yeah, we have way to reduce the scope if we need to. That's not an issue. We always make a bit too much, and then
It's
cut
easier
things.
to cut than to add later.
Yeah. So it would be a problem if we're like, okay, we've done everything we had to, and now the game is 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's not.
Before you get really like bored or you have nothing new to see. So that's not gonna be a problem, I think,
No.
because at least landscape-wise, you're gonna have diversity and quite a bit of walking
Yeah, the game.
things
Yeah,
to see.
it's still
But-
the point is still to take a small break. It's not look at all those beautiful sights for 2 hours, but wander around for a bit and have have a nice time.
If you want to explore the whole game in one side, that's on you. You
Sure.
can do that. That's
You want to
One
go on
way.
a 2-hour hike? Now it's possible.
Yeah.
And we'll see where we're at when the new map is in.
Yeah.
That's one of the bigger questions for the future yet.
I think it's
schedule-wise, it's gonna depend a lot on the map, because
Yeah.
once the map is done, we can start adding stuff to the map.
Yeah, I mean, so far we've worked in this way where
Mm.
it's like I make a terrain base and then we populate it and adjust it and stuff. Another way we could do it is
Small areas
small areas that
that we
connect.
add together.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, but
Um,
it's that makes the entire map less easy to figure out in your head.
kind of, yeah.
So it might, I don't know. We'll see. I don't
Require-
know how it
it would
works.
require more planning,
Yeah,
less improv.
let's
which
improv.
was kind of the basis.
Yeah,
of
the
why
plan
we
was to
went
make a
that
huge
way.
map, scatter it with trees, and then add nice little areas, which is still, to me, seems like the smarter way of doing it.
It's not necessarily the smarter way, but it's a good way for us for first game.
Exactly.
Because if we really wanted to have really interesting places and spots and stuff, we would need to do
Yeah.
a really planned route. Where basically we plan exactly where and how they look and invent and design them in advance, and then them together and then populate what's in between. That would be a more the world would feel more handcrafted.
Mm.
So it would be continuously interesting.
Yeah, but that's
But-
also a lot more work.
That's way more work in the planning process part of it, which we don't have as much time for because we're both also making the things.
Yeah, we're making and planning at the same time.
Yeah, so that's possible but difficult, and it would be a much more restricted.
It would be smaller.
It would be much more smaller, and yeah, we would. It would feel more scripted too, a bit.
Yeah,
I
and
think.
I kind of like the idea of a forest with interesting places in it instead of a handcrafted tour like a park. I wanted to feel like nature instead of a theme park, sort of.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. At least to me, it does.
Hmm?
But yeah, that's the plan. That's why we went with that approach.
Yeah.
And also because it felt also very big to start.
Yes.
I was like, okay, how
Uh,
do you even make a forest?
I was already thinking about the next game. I hope the next game will make something small in a small room or something. I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. Or maybe it's gonna be different levels, different
Of
maps,
course.
smaller things that go together. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see.
But
We
yeah,
haven't talked about the next game yet.
But that's
I've thought about it because of course I'm thinking about weird game ideas all the time.
Yeah, and I have a few of our ideas that I'm really like. I really wish we could do that next.
Yeah,
I'm
we'll
really
see. We'll
enthusiastic
see.
about that.
I like that
don't
idea. I like
know.
that idea.
I don't know.
There's a ton of games.
We keep adding ideas anyway.
Our ideas list is 1 megabyte of just text, so it's
Yeah.
huge.
It's fine. It's fine. we do not like ideas. No, but yeah, so to go back on what we were saying, that's basically level design philosophies or ways of level designing the
course.
same game with the same mechanics, like without changing how the canoe works, how the walking works, how we find a camping spot, interesting spots and stuff, and we're using exactly the same ingredients. You have way different results by just using different philosophies of design for them and processes of design. But yeah, we went with a more improv one where we just go like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
put
let's
something
let's
there.
explore this and let's try this.
Like
and
I
let's
have
do
this plan, this view, this thing. Like
Yeah.
I made the map by hand, so
Mhm.
I know kind of where things go.
Yeah, when you put the player on this point of the map, I have the image of the map here
Sure.
somewhere. That's something we can show because it's good to show stuff.
Show don't tell.
Exactly. Here you go. This
Yeah,
is the map. So
this is the map.
you can
and-
imagine, like, oh, here's gonna be a fire, and this is gonna be a ridge, so you can look over the entire thing. That's gonna be pretty here with the setting sun. That's gonna be, I don't know, here or I
so
don't know.
basically like the darker green alpine areas. So this should be more shadowed than the ones that are more orangey green and yellowish greens, which are more normal leaves, trees. Probably more grass too. the darker brown spots are areas where I thought maybe that would be interesting to have a nice little more
Something.
design clearing or
Yeah,
something
exactly.
interesting, either happening or to be seen or a cool view of things. Like so, many of them are on the side of a
Cliff.
cliff. Thank you.
On the side of a cliff.
On the side of a cliff or an
Yeah.
area that I want to be kind of cliff-like,
Mm.
so that you have a nice view on what's below and things like that.
Mm.
But so I do have an idea of things. We still have plans,
Yeah.
but they're not very, very precise. And they're more like, oh, once I started to make the terrain, even in the tool, I was like, oh, but that shape is more interesting actually.
Exactly.
So that's gonna change.
Mm.
And now that I have to redo the terrain, that's gonna change again.
It's gonna change again. But this is still the map-ish.
So yeah, the intent,
It's the intent of the map, and then we'll see
map.
what the tool makes of it.
the shape of the lake, because we like the idea of big area with big lake,
Mm.
not just a river style.
Yeah.
But also having those river moments when you can have things on both sides and go
Yes.
like, oh, I want to go to that riverbank and oh, that riverbank.
And I really want that moment where you start here on the lake, and that you turn, and then immediately the entire area becomes very open,
Yeah.
and that you can see the mountain in the background and stuff here, and I don't know, something in the water, and this area feels like an important spot. I'm thinking of the Breath of the Wild when you get out of the cave moment.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Sort of.
In a smaller scale, of course, because
Not as
we're not going to be making Breath of the
crazy.
Wild in 8 weeks.
Certainly not. Certainly not. But
But that's kind of feeling that, wow, it's pretty over here.
Mm.
That's what I want. That's the goal. If that area works, the rest of the game works to me, in my head.
not to me, but
No, not entirely, but you see what I mean.
yeah, no, if that moment works, it's a good way to get people into.
Exactly. If that's
Like,
that's the first moment of the game, and then if if that moment works, the rest of the game flows a little more naturally after that, because the people will be engaged more.
Yeah, but also it's a good test of if you're not into the game, that's a moment where you're like, if you're disinterested at that moment, like I don't think we have many things that will interest you.
No, exactly.
So, and this is a very passive game.
Yeah.
So it's not your cup of tea. That's a good way to know. Like
It's fine.
if the first minutes don't get you, then I don't think many things will.
We don't have to appeal to many people, so that's fine.
No, so that's not the goal. If we
No.
wanted to do something that had mass appeal, I would just work in bigger studios instead.
Yeah, me
you
too.
know, I would just keep doing that.
I work already
No.
on big games every day. I'm fine.
And it's not that I don't want people to like the game, whoever they are. It's
No.
just that I want to be able to just do other things and not
Mm-hmm.
worry about whether it's marketable. So I think it's that's where the fun part is for us too. It's just going like, that's interesting to us,
Yes.
and we want to see more of that and to offer more of that, and hopefully you find it interesting, and
Yeah.
then you can keep up with what we're doing and follow and subscribe and whatever. Join the Patreon, whatever. I've been told that we need to advertise that more.
Yeah, we didn't talk about it last week, but it's on screen all the time. It's back in the lower left of the screen. It's it's showing. So yeah, the goal is and also when we're going to get better at making games together over the coming weeks. And the next game will be a little bit more ambitious, a little different, something else. And the next game after that, and the next game after that. And we're going to get better and more technically competent every time. And the goal is to be able to make whatever we think of after a while.
That's true.
Because right now we're a little limited because we're still learning. But we can already make something like this. And some other types of games, surely.
Yeah.
I know that we can. We just need to
Do it.
do it.
Do it. Just
And-
do it.
If you just take the time, anyone can make a little game.
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to show everyone.
I think that's a cool thing also. That already within 2 weeks, there are a few people who are like, oh, that made me
Mm.
want to do things. make
Yeah.
things to, or to go back to that project or things like that. I have at least in mind 3 people who told me that.
Yeah.
So it's very, very cool to have that kind of feedback. And yes, Steve, if we can just encourage you to go to do a bit of a crazier project or try to make a game by yourself, that's honestly something nice for us. That's a good. I
Yeah.
think that's a good feeling, at least for me, and that's a very, very good result.
Yeah, if you make
of
something
whatever.
because we inspired you, show us. We like that.
Yeah,
I love to play whatever anything makes, or hear, or see, or something.
yeah, same. No, it's
It
just,
feels that's the point. Also,
yeah.
show that it's possible, and show that you can make whatever.
I want to make silly little games, funny little games, weird little games. But also, if that makes you want to make also fun little weird games, that's success.
Yeah.
Success instant for me. And show them to us.
Yeah, we didn't. We're not starting with the weirdest and most out there idea we had. This one is pretty tame,
We're pretty
but
reasonable.
but
it's
we
still,
start small.
in a way, it's still a little game because, as I said, it's just not very interesting for many people.
Mm.
It's just the intent behind it is to make you think about it.
Yeah.
To make you think about the way you play and do the rhythm of your own life and the way you take distance from it, how you take breaks, how you take rest. And yeah, so that's a fun part of it too. But it's already weird by its positioning, by basing like any walking sim that comes out in the environment we have, in the industry we have, where it's everything like has to be shiny, you have to have tons of fun, stimulation and stuff.
And crafting and doing stuff and
so many things.
many materials and hundreds of enemies and shooting things and whatever.
For example, or just
Yeah.
there are now much more also
Of course.
wholesome games, cute games, and more comfy games and slower games, but they're still not the majority of it. And being also like, oh no, we're gonna make a game where you don't have many things to do
No.
is already pretty radical.
Yeah. Not many things to do. The goal is just to wander around for a bit.
We just want you to vibe.
Yeah. That's all we want.
So yeah, no, there's that, and that's already weird as a point of view
Yeah.
and as a decision and as a choice. So that's fine by me, but also we can definitely be weirder. We just
have
wanted
so many weird
to not be
ideas.
too ambitious with
No.
the first one.
It's the first one. We need to get into the swing of things. We're creating our workflow as we go because, well, we created a big Excel doc the day after the stream that's growing slowly with stuff that we forgot to add and things we need to think about. Oh, we need a page that talks about bug fixes. We need a page that talks about this. And all those documents and stuff that you won't necessarily see, probably never see, are important too, and that will be those will make the next game more streamlined, the process of making it, and every game will get better, which is the point.
That said, if you do want to see our internal documents and workflow and stuff, I'm gonna paywall this.
Of course, they're gonna be on the Patreon.
Also, it's the Postmortem stream is supposed to be a Patreon exclusive.
Yeah, it's
and
a
I
Patreon.
think that's a place where we can actually show that kind of documents.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
It has a place there, maybe not on the weekly streams, but also where you were saying about we made the thing the other week and we add new places. Those are all things that technically I should be able to anticipate because I do have experience making games.
Yeah.
And I refuse to do that because I am still not willing to be a producer.
No.
So I'm just like, all right, I should have a bug report system, but I'm not going to make one. So I'm just going to add a tab to the spreadsheet.
It works for now.
Excel can do everything, okay?
At our scale, it works. It's fine.
Yeah, no, it's exactly. Also, like it's just the two of us, so don't expect very clean, continuous documents.
This first doc is not clean at all.
Are very like following exactly what's gonna be because it's just two people. We don't have that many communications issues.
No, that's
At least
fine.
none that cannot be resolved by you telling me to come
Mm,
over or you
yeah.
coming over. So
That's it.
being like, okay, we sit down, we talk about this. What's going on? Are you okay?
Sejuf says we should create a gacha system, which people pay and get a random document. I'll put all the assets, all the documents in a folder, and then every time you pay,
Oh,
you
no,
get
that-
one.
That could be so much fun once we have enough games.
Yeah.
Think of it now, it's gonna be like a Wordle. You
The
give the
daily game.
document and you have to guess the game. you
You get
randomize the
one
document.
sound effect.
Yeah,
One sound effect. Guess the game.
yeah. You get one asset, one
Oh, yeah.
document. It could be like you could end up with the spreadsheet that we use during development that has everything in it, and you have to be like, "What the heck?" And other times it's just like one soundbite
Mm.
or one rock. You go like, "What
If you've
the
played
heck?"
if you've played our games, you would know.
That could
Play
work.
our games
Yeah.
once we made them.
Oh, that could be fun. That could be very, very, very fun.
It
But
goes on the
that's-
list.
It goes on the list, but that's for like in 1 year or two if this works out. But because we need enough games to not have just like 5 or 6 choices. But my gosh, yeah,
Mm.
that's a good anniversary thing, you know? Like, oh hey, it's been 3 years. We now have a dozen of games. Let's go. So-
Yeah. Final crossover Avengers. Yeah, we're gonna make the end boss is
Oh,
going to
yeah.
be one game that has every single mechanic and everything in it.
Oh, that could be so fun. Oh, I can see it in my head. That's terrible. Oh,
It's
that's
going
great.
to be horrible. There's that guy on TikTok that's making the worst game of all time
cool.
by taking user suggestions. It's a lot of fun.
Oh,
I'll-
that's a fun.
I'm gonna send him his channel over. I don't remember how he's called, but
Oh, yes, please.
it's a 2D platformer where you jump by moving the mouse or something. It seems unplayable, but a lot of fun.
It isn't. No, that sounds very fun. Also, that's a very good point. The worst game ever by taking suggestions
Mm.
is great because it also shows players are the worst designers because you know what you like and what you want, but those ideas are usually not something that will work within the construction of the game, within the
Yeah, the scope and
This-
the things.
or just the universe or the
Mm.
the game design of it
Yeah.
in itself. And sometimes it does because there are always
Mm.
fun ideas and people always come at you from a different angle that you didn't expect. So you do need to listen to people ideas and suggestions and stuff and your player base and stuff, but you don't want them to become your main designers.
No.
And you shouldn't just listen to them because no, they're not good designers.
Because no.
No, that's no.
No.
You can have great ideas as players, and me too. I mean, I'm also a player, but
Mm.
as a game designer, sometimes I'm like, I see suggestions, and I'm like,
Nope.
and that's pretty often.
Deck building tower defense chess game. Well,
So, one of the ideas.
you are one of the people who can help us decide the
True.
next game, so we'll see.
True. So
That's
I
the.
don't think we have the deck building.
No, there's no deck building, but there is chess and there's tower defense in
Yeah.
separate different games. And,
Yeah,
our
for
other
sure.
spins and stuff.
Yep, we do have that. I don't think we have deck building or anything.
Because I'm not
Similar yet.
very much into deck building games, so
Yeah,
it would be very hard to make one for me because I don't know what they
It
do.
depends, because deck building sounds like you have lots of cards and lots of possibilities, and balance it out is a headache.
Nightmare.
But yeah, but if it's just you do the same thing all the time, but you vary the team with a few choices, and they create weird things also depending on what you're facing. You could still have a very exponential thing to design, but it's very interesting. And now imagine that with a narrative game. And suddenly it becomes, where do you put your characters and what do they discover? And so that you can get the whole story. And it's still a deck building game. You're just not gonna advertise it that way.
Yep.
So yeah, that could be something we could do.
A lot about deck building and tower defense games. We'll see. And unbalanced games. All our games are going to be unbalanced, that's for
Very
sure.
much. Yeah.
Balancing takes like months, and especially when there's several multiplayer games on our list. None of them are going to get balanced ever.
I mean, it depends on what you understand with balancing.
Yeah, well.
But actually, no. Even in this game, there is balancing.
Mm.
Every time I touch the controls
Yeah,
again,
of course. It's
the strength of the speed, the push, the thing, that's already balancing too. And just because a game is multiplayer or has complex mechanics doesn't mean that it's necessarily very hard to balance, or also that we don't already have a good instinct to start with.
Yeah,
There's also that. As both players and designers, you usually have
you know how
a
you
good-
want it to feel.
Yeah, you have a good instinct.
Mhm.
Even as a player making a game, you already have some form of instinct that is informed by your habits. And thanks for the raids, Mamo.
Hello.
Not the same mom.
Hello, Raiders.
Hey. But yeah, it's hi Nimelia and Biff. Hey, but
Should we tell them who we are, maybe? People that just jump into this stream from nowhere.
most of them know.
Yeah, probably.
Most of them know. But yeah, if you don't, if you're just arriving, if you're just joining us, we are small dreamers. We make small games in a small time, and that's about it.
And we're working on our first game right now,
Yeah,
which we were talking about.
which we're talking
just
about.
show
This
the-
is week 2 of game 1,
Yes,
and this is where things
this
will
is the-
done.
this is how the game looks right now.
We're making a very chill game that's all about the vibe.
Right now!
Right now. Wow. But yeah, what was I talking about?
I don't
I got
remember.
Very
We're talking
distracted.
about balancing.
Balancing, yeah, no. So even if you do have instinct, that was it. Yes, you come into creating a thing with a view of how it's supposed to be, and you will adjust that as you develop the thing. But trusting your guts isn't necessarily a bad design decision.
No.
You just have to make sure that it's cohesive with the rest, that's all very coherent, that you have a game that's a whole thing and not just an assembly of ideas that don't go together or that clashes together.
Mhm.
What you want to avoid is creating friction. So having something that is balanced isn't necessarily difficult or time consuming if you start with a good idea of where you want to go. You might still have surprises, and especially because we're skipping a very important part of game development, and we're skipping it voluntarily, and that's playtesting.
Oh, yes.
So playtesting is when you give the game to people and you make them test it. And you do that at various points in your development, even when the game still looks like trash. You try to have an idea of how people who have never seen this game before, who have no idea of who you are, what your game is, react to the game, whether they need explanations or not. If you don't yet have the tutorial, that means you explain them how the game works in the way you think the tutorial will look like or will do. And then when you have a tutorial, you're supposed to stop doing that. And you see where you need still to explain things and stuff. And we're skipping that entirely because 10 to 12 weeks to make one game. So that's not much.
No.
So we're going to have still, for the Patreon people, they do get the game 1 week early? 2?
1 or 2 weeks
1 or 2
early.
weeks
Depends on how long we take until we
Yeah.
are done.
Or at least have
In the
something
planning,
playable.
it's 8 weeks development, 2 weeks polish, and the people on the Patreon get the game after the 8-ish weeks development.
Yeah.
And right when we start polishing it.
Yeah, that's it. So
So they will have a game with everything in it that sort of looks like it's supposed to, but that probably has tons of bugs.
yeah, either tons of bugs or, like, for example, the controls that aren't fully polished. Speed of things might vary. Some places might change. The look of things might still change a bit.
And that's
especially in
how
this game.
people gonna. And that's our playtesting phase,
Yeah.
basically.
Basically,
It's the people going to play and say, "Oh, this is working. This is not working.
Yeah.
Well, help! I'm stuck in the wall here."
yeah, but at
or
the same
something.
time, that's really different than actual playtesting.
Yes, of course.
I'm seeing the joke and the pun in the chat. Sorry,
Mm.
got distracted by the. Thanks. I'm not Polish, but I
Hello,
can
cat.
win. But It's also normally you watch the person play from A to Z, so that you see exactly where they stumble. Because the feedback the people might give is not exactly necessarily the feedback you want, or it's not true to what their experience is.
Of course, it's going to
From
be
your
interesting to
point of
watch
view.
at least the people that we know around us to see them play.
That could be fun, but
That
that's
is
not
what we're gonna
necessarily
do.
something we have time to organize.
No.
Because that would need us to be like, are you free at the same time
Mm.
as both of us, and to play the game and stream it, and do you have a
Yeah.
computer that can do that, and an internet and stuff. So that's not necessarily something we're going to be able to do. So we're kind of skipping that and going with, this is the experience we want you to have from our point of view.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that's- No, director's cut, but right away. Basically. So yeah, we're not doing real playtesting. Maybe one game we're gonna be like, we do need that.
Yeah, we'll
Um,
see. If the game needs it, we'll figure something out. I don't know.
Yeah, but for this one, where it's just the more you play it, the less interesting it is. I think,
Yeah.
Um,
also,
unless you really, really, really like the vibe, which
if
hopefully
if you
someone
want
will.
to take multiple breaks, you're allowed to take multiple breaks
Yeah,
in the
even
game.
even if you know the area, you can still go hike in it. It's fine.
Yeah.
But once you've discovered everything that was of interest to you, it's just doing the same thing
Mm.
all over again. So understandably, doing playtest with a very small pool of people we have right now would take away people from actually enjoying the game when it comes out. So that's also something we need to think about
Yeah, of
right
course,
now.
and that's also something that we'll have to think about a little bit while moving forward when we start building stuff.
Yeah.
We will not be showing you everything, even though we're going to be showing most of the stuff.
Like,
There has to be at least some little surprise for the people that are going to play, of course.
of course, we're not going to show the entirety of it, but yeah, you're still going to see a lot of it, and I think that's still interesting. That doesn't take away much from it.
No.
It's just, yeah, the more you know about the more you know exactly what's in the game, the less you have to discover by yourself and enjoy once you're into it, so inside it. So there's a balance to find there.
Mm.
Also, at the same time, if you're just here to vibe because you want to see people make the game and see everything that goes on, we're not gonna hide things.
No, we're not going to hide
It's
specific things.
just gonna be like, oh, we did that, we made this, or we're
Mhm.
working on this, and that's this way and that, and not necessarily every time we do a thing.
No.
But you've seen all the rocks. That's very important.
We're going to see all the rocks, all the trees, all everything. I'm completely out of frame. Wait a second. Here we go.
Hi, you're back.
I'm moving slowly over
You
time.
want to take some distance from me?
I see you way too much.
Oh, already, it's only week 2.
We're never gonna make it till week 10.
No.
Gonna kill each other.
No.
It's gonna be fine.
It's gonna be very fine, I think.
It's not our
Yeah.
first project together.
No, that's true.
Even
That's
though it's
fine.
our biggest
It's-
project together
Sure.
so far.
I mean, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, longest we took was a weekend, so that's fine.
No, there was a bit longer for some videos.
Oh yeah, we walked like a
Where we
week on
worked,
on one,
Oh,
and we
more
spent
than
like
that.
2 days shooting or
2
something.
days shooting, so very days felt there's a lot,
Mm.
and then it was over a longer period between filming.
Yeah, filming and editing and talking about it
But
and
also
thinking about it,
writing.
writing,
Stuff like that.
and then
I
never
mean,
releasing it.
Remember the rap set? I mean, it was conceiving, cooking,
Making the
filming
music.
the cooking, writing the lyrics, making the music. So there was a lot of things like that. So yeah, no, it was a bit longer. Still not as big as that, definitely. And also there were other people with.
I should make a Patreon post with all the projects we made together.
It'll be fun. Okay, and then I'm gonna do a thing in the chat.
Chat, here you go.
Here you go, something that I need to remember to do also.
Oh,
This.
yes, every
Every once in a while, you
Uh.
know, do the actual streamer things.
yeah, do the thing. That's something that I did set up in my own streams. Every like 30-40 minutes it says, hey, subscribe to me and do stuff.
I need to do that. I just didn't because for the first, especially for the first stream, it felt a bit
Yeah.
sad to advertise that too much because we had nothing.
No, we had
So,
nothing, but
we
now
had
we
nothing,
start to have
just
stuff.
We're introducing ourselves, but now that we have stuff,
Yeah,
sure,
We have
sure,
stuff to show, stuff to talk about.
we do.
It's part of the thing. We're getting started.
That's fine. But yeah, so yeah, we went. We did things today. We did things this week.
Yeah.
Did many of them. The game looks better and better each day.
Look at this. It looks like a game, almost.
They're pretty barren, but
Yeah, but when you start up the game, it feels like there's a game there, even if there isn't. It's all smoke and mirrors.
ooh, but that's every game.
Of
So
course.
that doesn't mean
It will all
anything.
come together in the next 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, it should.
Of course.
Hopefully, yes. Fingers crossed and everything.
It's gonna look like a game at some point.
It does. It does look like a game. Now we're finding. I like that we're finding a footing. Also, visually wise, sound wise, we already had a pretty good idea. So technically, also we have everything. So on
Yeah.
the coding side, we don't have
Yeah,
It's-
that's yeah.
we don't have that many things to add now.
No, we need
So-
to build the world and populate it with all these things.
Yeah, and there's animation to add to keep
Mm.
it live. So there's
We're
still-
getting there.
we're getting there, but it's cool that we're finding the like I'm not as worried as before about finding the vibe.
Mm.
Visually at least.
Yeah,
Because-
just the canoe with that little outline and the
Yeah.
ugly trees in the background that will be replaced, but that they are very blurry and stuff. I really like the vibe already.
There's
There's something there.
there's something. We're finding the thing. So that's very, very nice
Mm.
and fun to watch.
I'm
So-
more and more confident that we're actually gonna get there.
weren't?
No, I was already. I knew that we were gonna get something, but I'm more and more confident that it's actually gonna be good as well.
Nice. Cool.
I-
Yeah.
I thought, well, it's gonna be the first game. It's gonna be rough, and well, it might still be rough, but it will be
It will be
at least
rough.
something and playable and at least vibey a little bit. And adding, I know also that adding music and sound effects and stuff is gonna do a lot
Yeah.
for
I
the
mean,
vibe.
Just adding the music already does a lot.
Mm.
Now imagine if we just had ambient sounds.
Yeah,
It would just you would feel it already.
I
So
have
that's
something to record all the sounds.
Yeah, true. You have
And there's a
recorder
park
now.
next door, so I'm going to be going into the park at some point for work.
Fun. Yeah. I know it's
But I need to go there early in the morning and somewhere during the week because otherwise there will be too many people there.
yeah, no, but it's like the we should play Sea of Thieves together
Mm.
for work.
For work.
How about that? Sure. Yep.
Of course. I don't think our schedules line up, but that will be fine.
Oh, we can find a way.
Yeah,
Maybe we can make it a stream or something.
that should be fun.
Could be fun.
Like like a weekend stream somewhere.
Afternoon or something.
Yeah.
Could have fun. Hope the Megalodon will be fixed in your game. Yeah, the Megalodon.
He's not gonna be there.
Yeah.
Is he broken in Sea of Thieves? I only saw him like once from far away.
Yesterday it was.
Okay,
It didn't attack at all.
that's
and
weird.
then every time we managed to vanquish it, it just disappeared.
Okay.
So, no loot, nothing. So that was
Because
that.
you can vanquish it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've played the game like 4 times.
Oh, spoiler alert! You can absolutely destroy it.
I didn't know that. I
It
thought,
just
oh
takes
crap,
a
there's a thing.
while.
We need to go away.
Good reflex. Good reflex,
Yeah.
especially if you play on a map with a lot of people.
No, we're
don't
just
get
just
stuck.
2 of us, and we don't play with PvP on.
Oh yeah, you play on the private.
Yeah, we just
server.
played private
Okay.
chill,
Okay. No, that's fair. That's fair. We
and it was
yesterday.
plenty stressful already. Because figuring out how the boat works and stuff, it's fun. Especially if you take the bigger boat, and there's
Yeah.
only 2 of you.
Yeah, you
There's a lot
shouldn't
of
do
running
that.
around, that's
You
fun.
You shouldn't do that. Take
No,
the
that's
middle
fun.
one.
Yeah, the middle
It's-
one. That's the one we took, but
Yeah,
it was
that's-
already
that's
a lot of running around.
Yeah, the small one, especially when starting, doesn't feel that fun. It
Mm.
is but it doesn't feel as impressive. So yeah, you usually people jump straight to at least the middle one, and
It's a lot.
it's a lot. And then you have the bigger one, which is really a lot.
Yeah, but you
That's
need
so
like
fun.
4 people to
Four
be
people.
able to make it work.
You,
So
you can do it with 3,
Huh.
because when the game came out, you only had the big and
oh
small
yeah,
one,
okay.
I think.
Oh, they added the middle one.
I think so.
I don't know.
I seem to remember that there wasn't. Maybe I'm confusing with the beta of it,
I don't
the
know.
open beta when they had it first. I don't know.
You've been playing that game for a long time.
Yeah, I pre-ordered it. I very rarely pre-order things, and I pre-ordered it. I really love that game.
Yeah, it's a pirate game. Of course, it's good, fun. It's the best pirate game there is. It's the only pirate game that exists.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Well,
the only
it-
good pirate game that exists,
No,
maybe. I don't know. I have not played the other one.
Assassin's Creed Black Flag was.
Oh yeah, that was
fine.
also one.
It was fine. It was
I
not
liked
a
that.
full pirate game, but you know
It was fun when you were on the boat, and then
Yeah.
you had to get off and follow people.
exactly.
That was
And
annoying.
you know, the Assassin's Creed part of it was sucky, but the Black Flag part was great. So,
I was not talking about that game, but that's fine.
yeah, no, there. Yeah, no, there are a lot of pirates games indeed. The chat. is
There's
reminding
also
us.
Sid Meier's Pirates that I really liked.
Yeah.
Pixel
fun.
Piracy I've not played. I've heard about it.
I haven't played it either. But yeah, Monkey Island for sure.
Oh yeah, I don't count Monkey Island among the pirate games, even though it is. But
It is.
I think to me pirate games are games where you go around in boats and shoot stuff also. And Monkey Island is a game that's a pirate vibe, but it's not a pirate game specifically because the mechanics are not piratey.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. It's still, to me, it's still pirates.
Of
and,
course.
in the sense that I love games that also play on the pirate imaginary.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, it's just so of course.
I like pirates. I
Yeah,
want
but
to make a
like
pirate game someday.
Sea of Thieves is just like the imaginary pirates
Mm.
simulator.
Yeah, that's
basically
it's,
The kind of things you would imagine when you were 6 or 7 playing pirates with friends, like, or 5, and you just want like, oh, imagine. And
yeah,
that's
exactly.
it. So that's why it's so fun to me. But also that's why it doesn't work with a lot of people, because you really have to have been into it.
Yeah, and
to-
I
to get
really
into
like
that
I really
idea.
like pirates and novels and stuff about pirates.
Yeah, same.
And I want to make a pirate game someday.
I think we have at least 2 that are in our
At
list.
least on the list are at least 2 pirate vibe games.
Yeah, or things that are very closely related to
Mm.
the pirate mythos.
There will be pirates in the future.
Yeah, sure, for sure.
Maman is a pirate.
It's not imagination. Okay, don't confess your crime in a Twitch chat.
No, no,
Do
no,
not
no.
confess crimes in a Twitch chat, people.
We do not know what you. If you did crime, that's fine, but don't tell us about it.
No, yeah. Don't confess that on the public forum.
Pirates in the future? Maybe. We'll see. Sci-fi pirates.
Huh.
It's
Okay.
another vibe of pirates. I like the old timey ones, but
No, but I really like the Treasure Planet.
Treasure
movie,
Planet.
Like not necessarily the movie itself.
Wait, there's
but
there's a game on the list that
universe.
specifically cites planet.
Sounds
Treasure
like
Planet.
us. Yeah,
I know.
We're cohesive in our own ideas.
Yeah,
Anyway.
yeah. I've written. I know I've written down Treasure Planet at least once in that long list.
Yeah, probably.
If it's going to be soon, I don't know. Probably not, but we'll see.
Probably not, because I think this would be one of these games where we would be like,
We need a little longer. We
we
need a little more.
need a little more, or we need to know more,
Exactly.
so that we can do something that is satisfying to us.
Mm.
Because yeah, pirates,
Pirates are so cool, but
that's cool.
that makes for complicated games, and we're not
Yeah.
ready for those yet. We can make this in 10 weeks yet so far, and that's about it. We could make something more complicated, but we still need to figure it out.
Yeah, we still have a lot of to.
So it's gonna be baby steps.
Yeah.
Every game is gonna be a little more complicated than the previous one. Or not, but at least there's gonna be something that's challenging about it every time,
Yeah.
so that we learn stuff. Because if we just want to make 15,000 walking simulators, we're just gonna get bored.
Oh yeah, no. Next game is not gonna be a walking sim.
Nope.
Definitely not.
And I also like to switch maybe the third game would be a walking simulator again. It depends on the vibe.
Yeah.
But the second game is I like to switch a lot from style to style. Also when I'm playing games. So
Yeah. Same.
important.
Yeah, no, we would get bored. I mean, part of the reasons we do things this way is because also we just want to do so many things.
Mm.
It would feel very frustrating to focus more time on one idea when we have so many of them we want to do.
Exactly.
We're constantly being like, oh, imagine we could do that. Or, oh, remember that idea? I have just a new idea of how to do it.
Yeah, we don't want to spend like 5 years on a game or something. I see a lot of devlogs on YouTube and stuff of people that have been working on their game for 10 years or something. I don't want to do that. I get bored way too easily.
Yeah, same.
10 weeks is it's a good middle ground. I can spend a year on an album or something, and that's about it. After 8 months, my brain starts getting tired, and I don't want to work on it anymore.
Yeah, no, I've actually the 10 to 12 weeks is pretty radical, but that's also like it's the mix of we don't want to spend too long on one game, and we need to learn a lot of things.
Yes.
So maybe within, I don't know, 3 years we go like, okay, now we're gonna take 16 weeks.
Yeah, we're gonna extend it a little
so that
bit.
we can do more ambitious things.
Or we're gonna be making a short game and then a longer game and then a shorter game and then a longer game or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe at that point we'll go like, okay, we want to do things differently because we want to dedicate more time to one project or two. But yeah, the idea is just for now, there's so much to learn, and you can learn a lot by doing one project for a long time. That's not necessarily a bad idea. But to me, it would be restrictive because you only learn the things you need for that game.
Exactly.
And while you learn a lot of things that can be applied to next games and stuff, you don't really diversify your point of view, the reasons you might want to do something one way or another, and you can very easily get stuck into one genre or one way of doing things that I think is not necessarily it can be a trap, and that's not one I'm interested in falling into.
And also I want to put things out there in the world.
Yeah, same.
I don't want to spend 3 years on something and then have 3 people play it and be like, great.
Yeah, and also like personally, I already work as a freelancer on longer productions and processes and developments, so I already have that in a way. So I'm just like, I'm glad that I can just make a smaller thing and put it out and have fun with it, rather than spend a year and a half or 2 years or more focusing on the same game and doing the same thing for a while and stuff. And
we've done that already.
Yeah.
Well, each at our own spots. I've recorded like games that are very long and spent a year like recording every day the same game.
Yeah.
And well, it's fun to spend time with actors and doing dubbing and talking with 2 people and stuff, but after a while you get tired of the universe. I remember the translation team for one game said you're gonna end up knowing the game better than we do. Without ever even played it.
Yeah, or even knowing how it's supposed to play.
Yeah, I don't know. Many of the games I've worked on, I know the story, I know everything, but I don't know how it's played. I've never played it. I'm not gonna name any games because I cannot, sadly. But that's fine.
Contracts and legally stuff.
Yeah, I don't know, so I don't talk about the specific games, never.
That's fair. Honestly, that's very fair. NDAs are a big thing in the industry.
Yeah. If you see my name in the credits of a game, that's pretty sure that's me.
Yeah, that's true. But they don't know your game, most of them.
No. They don't know my name.
No self-doxing.
No, I won't.
We're going to avoid that for now. For sure. But yeah, I mean, I really enjoy the idea of shorter games.
Yeah.
Shorter development
cycles. I also like playing shorter games, though.
Yeah, I mean, there's value in making longer developments.
Of course.
Focusing on a project for a long, long time. But as we said, we've already done that. And we already do that on the side of it. So,
yeah.
this is one way for us to just kind of get it out of the system.
It's sort of the point. It's get it out there.
Yeah.
We have an idea. Let's make it in a short time and throw it out there and see what happens and move on to the next thing because well, we have too many ideas.
Too many ideas.
That's something we say all the time.
Yeah, that's another. Add it to the list. But yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
do you guys have any questions or something maybe? Just to finish things off because I think we're gonna be wrapping up. We've been here for 2 hours.
And I'm getting hungry.
Me too.
So it's dinner time. So yeah. If you do not have questions, I think that's a good place to end things.
I think so too. Let's move back to this screen.
Yay.
Yay, we're bigger now.
Yeah, baby walking sim to make baby steps. That's a very that's it basically. Baby walking sim. Baby's first walking simulator. Oh. Which is
First.
honestly a thing that many developers do.
It's a good spot to start because it's not too heavy on the technical side and it makes you still do everything that goes in a game.
Yeah, and it's also not very heavy on the design side
Exactly.
because you don't have to create entirely new mechanics. You have lots of references. I mean, we were already playing around with them with the rowing system.
Yeah, the rowing. I've been sort of toying around with the rowing because of course we have a long list of ideas. So when I was learning and testing stuff and trying things out, of course I'm gonna pick ideas from the list, and those sort of decided for us. Like, okay, I have this small rowing system that's going to be adaptable to into a full game. Let's start with that one because I know that's going to work. And other systems, we almost decided on another game, and I was like, yeah, but that mechanic is too complicated. It's not working right now, and I don't know if I can get it to work in 10 weeks.
Yeah.
So I'm learning every day, but there's still stuff I don't know how to do, and I'm gonna be still learning.
There are also ideas where we could just use necessarily Godot or
Yeah, exactly. There's stuff that's
we could
too
try
big.
to think also outside of the box, even
Mm.
where we go like, oh, we cannot do it. Okay, how can we still make this idea work in a
course.
totally different way? So yeah, there's a lot of things to do, and the good point of having the opportunity to do many projects in 1 year is that we can try all those ways if we want. So yep.
Exactly. That's the advantage of making a game every 10 weeks. You can make 5 games in 1 year, which is a lot.
You can play around a bit.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it for us for tonight. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our Patreon if you haven't already, and if you have the money to spare.
Money to spare, but
If you don't worry about it.
yeah.
And just subscribe to our Twitch and stuff and YouTubes and everything. We're everywhere.
For sure.
Anyway,
But no, also I hope you had fun today with us, and yeah, see you at least next week.
yes.
Same day, same place,
Same day, same place.
same time.
And see you soon.
See you soon.
Goodbye.
Are you tired of huge
still
games
here,
with too many
but I'm
things in
leaving
it?
now.
Shush.
Tired of hearing about games that only come out once you've entirely forgotten about them?
Too long development cycles?
Too big teams? Too big
games? Well, we have a solution for that.
Hello, we are Small Dreamers.
We've been toying with the idea of making games together for a long time, and the time seems right.
The goal of Small Dreamers is to make bite-sized games, short experiments, each made within a 10 to 12 week timeframe.
We plan on documenting our progress with weekly live streams, short, quick video updates, and regular devlogs. And all our games will be available for free on itch.io.
We have a ton of ideas we want to try out, and the list keeps growing.
We want to remain independent and use as many open source tools as possible.
We'll try to stay on schedule while taking care of our health. The goal is to avoid the crunch that's so prevalent in the games industry.
We wouldn't be able to do this without your direct support. So, if this sounds interesting to you, consider joining the Patreon.